Hi, I'm Chrissy with Creating Changes Counseling, and this is a video on the difference between EMDR and brain spotting. So I'm not trained in EMDR, so I can't speak a ton to it, but from what I know about it, I can kind of give you a little bit of an overview and how it's different than brain spotting. And I can only tell you why I personally prefer brain spotting because, like I said, I'm not trained in it, but I can tell you the differences. So EMDR is still a somatic based approach, which is what brain spotting is, where you're looking at like the feelings and getting into that subcortical part of your brain. It is a little bit more like protocol as far as like what it is that you're wanting to do. So it's step 1, step 2, step 3 type of thing, where brain spotting is a little bit more client led. So it's looking at like what the client is feeling, and then the therapist kind of following in that with a lot of attunement. Um, you know, brain spotting was founded by Dr. David Grand, who actually did EMDR and somatic therapy for 20 years. And, as of today, it's 2025, brain spotting has been around since 2003. So now brain spotting's been around for a long time. I mean, in the sense of, if you're going back to like cognitive behavioral therapy, it's not near as old as that. But we have a lot of evidence and research to show how great brain spotting really is. I think when you're looking at the effects of brain spotting and EMDR, I think you get a lot of the similar outcomes. The difference though with EMDR is you're kind of opening that whole eye span. Okay, so you're doing a lot of like back and forth eye movements, where brain spotting is really targeting one eye spot instead of looking in a lot of different places. But the similarities, like I said, is you're accessing that same part of your brain, and you're also using a different you're using the bilateral stimulation. So in EMDR, a lot of times it can be like something like tapping or some lights, where with brain spotting, it's strictly sound. So you're listening to the bilateral music, and I think EMDR might do the same. But the cool thing about implementing that bilateral music is you're stimulating both sides of the hemisphere. And while doing that, you're helping the logical and the emotional side blend together, but you're also stimulating I believe your isocortex, which is right behind here, and that promotes safety. So it helps you not feel as overwhelmed and stimulated and triggered when you're doing therapy. So it's a great way to kind of approach things. So EMDR and brain spotting, both wonderful techniques. I just really love brain spotting. That's why I'm trained in it. And if you would like to schedule a session for that, absolutely do that. Or if you have questions, reach out and I can kind of talk about it a bit more. All right, until next time, bye.